Good evening, everybody. Buckeye Piper. Oh, Devil Ants, OMS, Devil Ants, Northwoods, inside. That's a shocker. Happy Thursday. This is how my Thursday's going. Yeah, I didn't mean to pour that much, but holy cow, what a week. This has been the week from heck. Absolutely the week from heck, so we'll see if I drink all that. I'm not going to waste it. Incredibly challenging. What can go wrong has gone wrong. We've managed through it. The team's done a great job. All you can do is keep your head down and give your best effort. Give your best effort. I always say if I get walked out, I'll get walked out. I know I gave my best effort no matter what. So I won't get walked out. But, you know, that's my mindset is give your best. That way if it does happen, if for some reason you do have to change jobs or you lose a job, you know you gave your best in your heart. So tonight I wanted to reflect. I was sitting down to this pipe and thinking how crummy this week has been and how I can't wait for it to be over. And oh yeah, I'm supposed to be on vacation tomorrow and Monday. I'm going with my wife to Michigan to my nephew's graduation. Can't do it. Too much going on at work. So, the joys of senior leadership. Got to be there to support your team. We know. It's what I signed up for. So, my wife understands. But as crappy as this week has been, you know, I reflect back 75 years ago and think about the invasion in Normandy, D-Day. And for those sailors and soldiers and airmen, that was a crappy day. That would have been a really crappy week. Most gave the ultimate sacrifice. Yeah, you just can't even put it into words. I won't even try. You know, I think we've all seen Saving Private Ryan and the opening scene there and just how intense that was. And that would pale in comparison to what it would have been like that day. Just pale in comparison. That would have been a bad week. So, you know, I'm not going to go too deep into D-Day. Yardism put out a phenomenal video today about his thoughts on D-Day. Jump over to his channel and watch it. You know, I am going to share a story about D-Day, though. When I was in the Navy, I was fortunate and blessed enough to be able to participate in the 50th anniversary of D-Day. I won't call it a celebration, call it a remembrance. 50th anniversary remembrance of D-Day. I was on the USS Kalamazoo. It was a med cruise, and we had left in May. I actually volunteered for that cruise. I had just gotten back off cruise September of 93, and I volunteered to go back out in May of 94. So that was a pretty quick turnaround. Normally, if the schedule would have worked out, I probably would have went out late 94, early 95. But I took it early just because of the 50th anniversary of D-Day. Volunteered. I wanted to be there. So this was a just like the invasion, it was multiple countries involved in this remembrance, in this 50th anniversary. And we were on the ship. We weren't on the shore. I know on shore they had a service, and a lot of the veterans from D-Day were there, and they toured the beach and the grave sites and everything, and we didn't do that. But what we did do is anchored out at sea there just off the beaches of Normandy. And when we anchored out that night, we got there, it was kind of dark. We took our staging place. You could see a little bit of some of the ships that were out there, just some lights. The thing I'll never forget is what happened in the morning. We all woke up and went outside early, and we're just taking pictures and just excited to be part of this remembrance, right? And when we woke up and got outside, there was just this heavy fog over the whole, I'll call it a bay, I'm not sure if it's a bay, but over the whole area, just off the beaches. Fog everywhere. Really couldn't see. You could tell there may be a ship here beside you, maybe right beside you, and that was about it. Couldn't see very far. Couldn't see the beach. As the morning progressed, that fog lifted. And as that fog lifted, there were ships everywhere off anchor. And it just gave you goosebumps, and it just made you feel like you were there that day. That's what it would have been like. And that car needs a serious tune-up. That's a piece of junk or something. I don't know. Thinks it's cool. It's terrible. But anyhow, ships everywhere. Just goosebumps all over. Just knowing that that's what it would have been like that day, with just a mass armada focusing on the beach and hammering down with you know, the landing craft and the support ships and everything else that was going on in the area. And we didn't get to go on shore. We didn't get to participate in the ceremonies on shore, but we didn't have to. That was enough for me. And even as a young man, so in 94, I would have been 21. I wouldn't have been 22 yet. It wasn't my birthday yet. It brought you to tears. It brought you to tears just knowing that 50 years ago, that kids, and I'll say kids because I was 21, I was a kid, kids my age and younger were cutting through that fog and storming that beach and laying down their life for the freedoms that we deserve, and deserve is debatable, but the freedoms that we are afforded and practice today. It just, even to this day, 25 years later, just brings back emotions and just remembrance of that day. And I've often tried to picture in my head what those men went through. And like I said, Saving Private Ryan paints a sliver of probably what it was like, as intense as it was. But it's just a sliver. Just knowing what those men went through when those landing craft dropped the doors, and out they went. Some never made it off the ship, off the landing craft. Some barely made it to the beach. Some died in the water. It was just amazing, and I'm thankful every day for all those men and for what they did that day, for how they changed the world. for the better. I like to believe for the better. I think most people would believe for the better. So as you pause today to think about the sacrifices that those men made, and I'm not saying men and women, because if you think back 75 years ago, it was all men. You know, it was not that the ladies wouldn't have got in there and done it. Just there would have been plenty. I know there would have. They would have fought just alongside, but the culture back then just didn't allow it. It wasn't the way it was. Certainly the ladies and all the support roles and everything that they did to help with the invasion, there was plenty of that. And I'm thankful for them as well. But for the men that died that day, and for the men that didn't die that day, and just fought for our freedoms, it just blows me away every time I stop to think about it. So if you get the chance, if you made it this far in the video, thank you. Take a moment to reflect today, and just however that is for you, however you reflect or pray or whatever it is, meditate, whatever you do, just stop and think about that. What would the world be like today had those events not occurred 75 years ago? Jump over to Chad's channel, Yardism. Watch his thoughts. He reads President Eisenhower's, well, wasn't president at the time, General Eisenhower's letter to the troops. Very powerful. He just did an amazing job, and that's why I didn't even want to, you can't even compare or put something up next to it. So I thought I'd just tell a story. I mean, I thought he said everything I would have said. It was just an absolute masterpiece of a video, in my opinion. So, Chad, great job. Nailed it. But anyhow, I'll close out by showing y'all a little something. Corvette Jim Piper, Corvette Jim Rescue, Corvette Jim. You know, he does his pipe rescue and his adoptions, and watched him the other night, like I always watch his videos. And he had one that caught my eye, so I picked it up. And I'll show it to you. It did come with the bag, but I didn't bring the bag out. But keep it with my little Devil Ants. Little Devil Ants moonshine. Look at that little thing. It's a little bit smaller than I thought it would be. When you compare it to the OMS, it's certainly quite a bit smaller when you put it side by side. Shorter and shorter both directions, length and height. He also sent along this great little pipe rest. I've always wanted one of these, and I've never had one or never got one. Mrs. Buckeye said that she could make them, so maybe one day we'll do that. But it's really neat. So thank you, Jim. Thank you for the ants as well. Awesome price. Very clean, but I could tell whoever smoked this before was an aromatic, and vanilla aromatic at that. So won't matter. I'll put something in it, probably Northwoods, and the taste will change. It's not terrible, but you could just tell a little bit. Not a big deal. If you haven't checked out Corvette Jim's channel, check him out. Again, get over and check out Chad. Check out Yardism's video on D-Day. Hope you've enjoyed my story. If you stuck around and watched it. And I'll check out now. No matter how crappy the week gets, whether it's this week, next week, 10 years from now, you got to keep it in perspective. You got to think there's a lot of people out there that's had a lot crappier weeks than I'm going through right now. And in some cases, like in Normandy and D-Day, the world is a better place for it. And I thank those men and those women that supported that mission, that was able to change the world that day. You all stay safe out there. Wishing you all the blessings in the world. I'll catch up with you next time. Have a great night.